Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Trojan Arena for tonight's edition, men's volleyball, Oak Ridge vs. Del Oro, brought to you by TPSM here on YouTube. I'm Chris Mafio, joined by Mason Johnson, my color analyst. Mason, this is our first time calling a men's volleyball game this season. We got to see one. What do you hope to see tonight from both teams, especially Oak Ridge?
High level intensity.
So Oak Ridge going into this game 3-4 on the season. Del Oro 16-6, but 0-1 in league play, which has just recently started. And both teams ready to begin shortly. Be Jack Reynolds serving. Start for Oak Ridge. Reynolds serving, and too far. So, not the start you want if you're Oak Ridge. As Del Oro gets the first point. Here's Joseph Garrett to serve for Del Oro. Reynolds setting. Hand coast. No. That was Zach Winter trying to just throw it down, but it hits the net. Oak Ridge gets a point. And here's Sam Latour to serve. Latour's been their best server with 3 aces. Sends it away and too far again. So 2 serves for Oak Ridge and 2 hits way out. Just cut down on the power with your serves a little bit. Alex Kime now. Kine. Latour setting. Reynolds. And that was Travis Vandeluster standing at 6'5", the sophomore. Just getting the kill. What a hit.
Yeah, that was a good hit, using the palm of his hand to get enough power on that.
Now Vandeluster to serve, and it hits the net. So either too much or too little.
I would just say that was a little bit too little. Just ball slippage.
Obviously, but 3 serves, none of them have even been in play. That's Caden Pancoast serving. Soyd. And now Corbridge tipping it over. Latour able to retrieve it. Reynolds sets up Philip Jones, but way too much power on that one, and that goes way out.
But I would keep an eye on him for late in the game if he connects with one like that and manages to keep it in.
Philip Jones, Vandeluster, they're 2 best. I don't know if you want to call them bigs, but with their height, can do a lot, especially with serving. As one's thrown down, that is Matthew McCool.
Height can be a big factor in volleyball, especially if you want to play in the center or middle, because you can just tip it right over the net.
Latour setting it, sets up Corbridge, who just finds an opening, tips it over the net for the point. There's no one there. No defense to resist, it just fell right to the ground. Philip Jones to serve. Set up by Garrett. Soyd trying to track that one down. Diving, but can't do it. Soyd the libero. Only player on this team under 6 feet. In comes Zach Winter. He'll serve. Latour throws it down, and it is just out.
There we go, just like I was talking about. He did hard spike earlier just went out of bounds, and I said it could be a big factor late in the game if he manages to keep it in.
Well, that one was pretty well hit. It was just out by a few inches as Del Oro with the point right there. Alex Kime with the kill. Winter again to serve on a little bit of a run. Setting up Latour, who tips it over for the point. Now Gavin Soyd, libero, serving.
I would say he's their best server on the team. I mean, I watched him putt long enough and to say that.
That one out, so too much power on that hit.
Let's see if Sway can keep this serve going.
Just get into a rhythm here with your serves because a lot of their serves have been errant. Now Soyd's serve finds Pancoast. Now Winter throw a lot of power on that one, and it went out again. That's the second time in a row that's happened.
It was the right idea, just a little bit too much power.
And point for Oak Ridge.
With the little violation.
Double touch. Pancos to Garrett. Just way too much on that one again from Hayden Yarns.
I would just say what the Eagles just need to do to get back into this.
Yarns is their main defensive guy for the team with 11 blocks. Just a good all-around player. 409 hitting percentage. Soyd tries to continue his run. Pancoast, Garrett setting up. Haynes again, or Yarns.
Yeah, I would just say for the Eagles, they just don't need to do
That
too
time.
much power, or because like that would cost them a lot of points.
Getting the point. Yarns will serve. Tour. And now Jones. And it's that one. Reynolds cannot quite get the dig on that one. Just fell right between him, Vandeluster, and Latour. See the frustration from Reynolds there. Ooh, what a play. Almost looked like just watching an alley-oop in basketball, just perfectly set up and throwing it down, but Reynolds just perfectly setting up Vandeluster, who just throws one down. Gets the kill and the point.
Yeah, I would say there's a lot of alley-oops in volleyball.
Reynolds just right there. Looked like he was trying to do a little too much. Getting one was pretty far from where he was playing and hits it out. You can see his communication with guys like Philip Jones and Sam Latour. Just saying like, my bad, guys. A lot of power on that one. Setting up Vandeluster again.
And like you said on the alley-oops in like basketball, perfectly set instead of a throwdown, just a wicked spike.
Perfect for Vandeluster, so much power. And he is a kill attempt. Now Latour. That's Garrett. And that one gets blocked. That's Drew Polkowski, 6'4" junior. Latour. Oh, that hit
His serve on the
Polkowski
way up
right in the
almost-
head. You didn't see that one. It's gotta hurt.
My guy must have a concussion or just a little headache after that, I assume.
Looks like that might be something that happens regularly. Because it was all smiles after that one. No one was hurting. Polkowski setting one up again for Jones. And he gets that point. Now Van de Lester will serve.
How long does this set or period go to?
Well, the sets go to 25. This is one tightly contested. First set. That one gets denied. It's Corbridge. And it falls Oak Ridge with a point. That one maybe could have gone out, but it's Pancoast trying to retrieve it.
Nice save from having it going out of bounds.
Setting up Latour, tipping it over. Latour did not need to hit that one. That could have gone out. Now tipping it over again.
Could have hit the net or the
A
backboard.
great rally going here. Now Polkowski trying to end it, but violation, and Del Oro gets the point.
Yeah, obviously you can't hit the ball when you're out of bounds.
Panko serving. And Jones with the kill. Polkowski serving. Garrett to McCool, who throws it down, gets the kill. Just a little too far for Swid to get the dig on that one. Cool serve does not go anywhere. It hits the net. Those easy points for Oak Ridge, something that Del Oro obviously needs to cut down on, wants to cut down on.
On just too much power and just a little less power.
Latour gets blocked. It will fall out of bounds for an Oak Ridge point. Was blocked up front by Del Oro. Deflected, just falls right out of bounds for a Trojan point. What a hit by Jaden Steele. The freshman, 6'2" freshman, with the kill. Is right in the perfect spot where nobody was.
I did like the defensive effort though from the Trojans front line, trying to make a deflection on that one.
Well, that was just such a good hit, so perfectly placed. It's just hard to make a good defensive play on that. It was right in a blind spot or empty spot of their defense. Latour, too much power, out of bounds. This set going back and forth, 17-15, best of 17. Or best of 25, and we're really nowhere close. Reynolds trying to dot up Latour. Phillip Jones gets blocked, and it goes out. The Trojans will get the point. Soy to serve, looking to Get 2 points here. And so we'll get 1 as Pancos cannot quite retrieve that one. Because once you get to 20, 25 seems so much closer. And out just over the head of Caden Pancoast. Reynolds tried that flick there, and it did not quite work. Tried to go back to it. Now Phillip Jones gets the kill. Well, how good has Phillip Jones been so far in this game?
He's been everywhere. Very active with the team.
Everywhere. Plenty of kills, plenty of power on those spikes. And we spoke to him on Media Day, and he just spoke about the importance of routines and training for him in preparation and how that goes into the team's performance for what they do.
Yeah, he's a very important part to the
Great guy
roster.
when we spoke to him, and appears to be the leader of this team. One hit the wrong way by Zach Winter. It goes out. Oak Ridge within 3. We're going to have a Del Oro timeout. We'll be back after this break. Back after the break. Trojans need 3 points to close out set 1, take a 1-0 lead. And they'll have Reynolds up to serve. Jack Reynolds' serve is good. Again, just wrong angle on that one, on the hit for Zach Winter. Give the Trojans an easy point.
I mean, this has just been a great set for the Trojans.
They're falling behind a little bit early. They've really picked it up, put their feet down, and that serve hits just the top of the net. So that's where their run comes to an end, not after they get 3 points out of it.
Yeah, all it takes is just a little spark and you're back into this game.
You can get some quality serves. If you're Del Oro, you'd be happy with that. Be right back into the set. And that one goes out. Point for the Trojans. Now they're within 1.
It's all about execution here with 1 point left to end the set.
Tor trying to close out set 1. Low serve. Pancos hit that pretty low. Now one floating. Trying to set up Jones for the set win. Won't get there. Garrett. That one falling. This is Alex Kime with the kill. And again, just too hard for Sword to dig that one out. So Alex Kime serving. He needs 6 in a row to tie this one. We need to win by 2 at least to win a set. So we'll need more than that. Sword with the set. A call there will give a point to Del Oro. Too many touches.
For the Trojans, they cannot let these Eagles swarm back into this set.
There's 5 more points until they close out the set. So I'm sure they can afford to give up 1 or 2 easy points. As Jones' second effort off of Panko's face bounces over the net and out. The Trojans will win set one off of a great effort, a great set by Phillip Jones. Trojans up 1-0 on the Eagles. We'll be back after a break. We're back after an excellent set one, which saw the Trojans win by 6 off of a great offensive effort by Phillip Jones. So set two shortly going to start. Mason, how do you think Del Oro needs to change their approach?
I would just say they just need to make sure they take more power and make sure they don't hit the ball like too less and make sure they don't hit it too hard as well.
Giving Oak Ridge points by hitting it either too much or too little is something they need to cut down on, something that cost them around 5 points last set. Here's Garrett to start things off for Del Oro. That one hits the net, and looked like Phillip Jones was not expecting that one to go over, but it just tipped the net, came flying his way. It reacted in a blink of an eye. And can't quite save that one. Garrett again to Phillips. And Vandeluster finding a hole and throwing that one down. Now Matthew Ye. First time we've seen him tonight. He'll serve. Thrown down again by Vandeluster. That's 2 in a row. You can see him showing to Latour the two fingers.
Nice wicked spike and the force behind it.
Winters hitting it over. Wanted to go back to Vandalester. This one saved out of bounds by McCool. Vandalester too far behind for him, and Philip Jones had to make up for that one, just tipping it, but not enough. Del Oro with the point. Alex Kime serving. This Polkowski getting denied, but just a fight for that one around the net, and it falls.
That was a little wild sequence, but Gavin Sway making plays happen to keep the play alive.
Trojans getting a point. Now we'll have some serves. And Latour. One will be a Del Oro point. Kill was max for Kuda, looked like. Coast. Ooh, Vandalester again. He's on fire so far. 3 out of the 4 points for Oak Ridge have come from him.
I mean, if he's
flaming hot spikes.
If he's on fire, why not keep the momentum going?
Now gets at the serve. Makes Winters fall down. Lucky to avoid a double touch there. That one's blocked. Here's Polkowski. Trying to set that one up for McCool, and it goes out. So, long rally. Points go to Oak Ridge. Vandalester serving. Too much on that one. It's out. They're cool. Goes to Jones. Jones gets tipped and out. Angle on that one. Tried to tip it. Give it back to one of his teammates to make a play.
Cool serve was just a little weird. No jump at all. It just stood.
Polkowski on the serve. That's Garrett. Back to Polkowski. Yeah. Latour, too much. One thing that we typically see come into effect here at Trojan Stadium is the low roof. You don't see it as much for men's volleyball. The style of play is a little different than women's. So there's less towering hits, but you see that happen a lot, and the way it affects the trajectory of the ball coming down definitely gives the Trojans a home court advantage. And those two speakers and basketball hoops up there play a big part in how the ball is hit.
Yeah, you gotta be mindful of the ceiling of this arena.
But it's the Trojans who practice here 4 to 5 times a week and play here, so they're more accustomed to it. It plays into their advantage. Winters. Latour getting the kill. Setting up Latour again, tipping it over. It'll be, looks like many touches for Del Oro, gives the point to Oak Ridge. Now Jones to serve again. Hitting that one out, looked like Pancoast. Just can't quite get the good angle on it, and a timeout is called by Del Oro. So a short break, and we'll be back after a minute. Back after the brief 1-minute break for Del Oro. Just trying to reassess things as Oak Ridge with 5 points on them. Trying to not let things slip away too much. Kine almost fell. Good effort by Ye to dig it out. That one finds a hole and falls. Ooh, what a play by Corbridge. Just tipping it over where nobody was. Puts the Trojans up 7.
Trojans coming out with the intensity early.
Whatever they were talking about between sets, just keeping their feet on the gas after a strong closeout to set number 1. It's definitely worked for them. Especially Phillip Jones, who's on a roll right now serving. Ye just tried to... Looks like Ye was just trying to take that one and grab it, dunk it over the net. That did not quite work for them as it got blocked and then created a difficult situation for him and Corbridge to handle. Now Del Oro gets a point that they needed desperately. And just not enough power on that one. Now Gavin Soyd to serve.
It's Sway.
Swade. Tomorrow, as you know, we have Trojan March Madness. Students for Staff basketball game. Should be fun. Game will be at 5 p.m., so be there. And for anyone who cannot be there, missing the action, there will be a recording of the game, which you can find on Trojan Pride Sports Marketing on YouTube. And also for coverage of that game, you can follow Trojan Pride 80 on all social platforms to follow the game, see what's happening. Joseph Garrett serving. A lot of power on that one, but it's just not high enough. It goes into the net. Matt Ye will serve. Up high for Garrett. Now to Winter. Jones hitting. Ye trying to set up his man Sam Renaud. To no avail. Now Renaud just swinging it over the net. Nothing. McCool. And here's Evan Fryer. His first action sees him get a kill. Talked with him before the game. Said he probably would not see much playing time tonight, but he gets some playing time, makes a Makes a great play, gets a kill.
Yeah, Mr. Fire, big basketball player, using that center advantage in volleyball.
Using his height as well. Been a PE with him, playing pickup basketball with him was a nightmare if you were not on his team. So Oak Ridge with another point, up 10. Now 1-0 set deficit is not the end of the world in volleyball, but 2-0, it becomes a hole that is very difficult to dig yourself out of. Fryer looking for that one, trying to keep it in, but it's too high. Maybe more of a bad pass and set by Jones. And it was a bad play by Fryer trying to keep that one in.
That was just also bad timing on that.
Renaud just straddling the net, but it goes the other way, falls in Trojan side of the court. Will be a Del Oro point. So you said Del Oro going into this game, they're 16-6 on the year, but it's mainly from tournament play on like weekends. And they're 0-1 in league play so far, which is not that much of an indicator, but the way that they've played tonight in their record in league play, record could be a little deceiving. Oak Ridge, on the other hand, 3-3, or 3-3, just finished up a 2-2 tournament on Saturday, beating two teams and losing to Ripon Christian and Granada in their tournament. And won the 2 early games, lost the 2 late games, so on a bit of a slide going into this game, losing 2. Panko serving. Yay. Try to set up Vandeluster for a epic spike, just throwing down the hammer, but it's too high for him to handle. Now Del Oro back within 7. We're down 10 at one point. Just trying to climb their way back into the set, not go down 2-0. And Jones gets blocked, and that's a Del Oro point.
Trojans can't keep.
A great block by McCool.
Yeah.
And another block. This time's Winter and Yarns with the block. It goes the other way. Vandeluster serving. Had those 3 excellent plays to start the set. And throwing it down is Hayden Yarns. Getting Del Oro a point. Now subs coming in. Looks like Renaud coming in for Vandeluster. Or Corbridge. May have been. A fake from Corbridge. Has Jones with the hit. Can't find any floor. Jones again. Looks like Pancoast maybe hit it a little bit with his hands. And it goes out. Tipped out. So here's Evan Fryer to serve, seeing some action. And not a good serve. Gives point to Del Oro. Within 6 now. Like we said, once you get to 20 points, it becomes scary hours for the other team, especially if you're up 5 at that point. You see 20 looks so much closer to 25 than any other, like 19.
Yeah, it's just really hard hole to climb out of, really,
But
if you're down.
anything can happen as Jones, oh, what a play almost. What an effort by Pancoast, almost keeping that one alive. But Oak Ridge awarded the point there. Sets up Phillip Jones to serve, to try to close out set 2, go up 2-0. Looks like Yarns was trying to poster someone up there. Well, it looks like Yarns there. He was just tried to hit, saw it was a little too high, then had to swing again. Luckily, his teammate was there to save it, and they got the point out of it. He'll serve. Renaud, an arcing hit. And too much on the hit for Jaden Steele, the freshman. Gavin Swade,
One of
3
their
points
top,
away from closing out set 2.
one of their top tier servers on the team.
Swade, the libero of the team. And that one gets blocked. Vandalester, a brick wall right there, just denying it, saying nope. Swade, McCool, Garrett, back to Winter, and that just lands in. Point for the Eagles.
See, the Eagles can use that as momentum to climb back into this deficit.
6 points from tying it, and again, you have to win by 2 to win a set.
Trojan's up them by 2 right now.
Vandalester's hit just hits the net, won't go over. So within 5 now. Garrett, who's for sure their best server, 21 aces on the season. That serve. And out. Trojan point. Looks like Vandalester is trying to hit it, but almost swung and missed in midair. His teammates were there to back him up, save it, get the point.
It's just like baseball when you swing and miss after a miss strike.
Matt Ye, the intent to close this one out. What a play that they just dialed up, but Oak Ridge defending it perfectly.
Swade with the little
And
weird hit.
keeping it alive. And there's Renaud just tipping it over. And the Trojans hit 25. And they'll take a 2-0 set lead with the chance to close it out, close that game out next set. 25-18 is the final for set 2. We'll be back for set 3 in a few minutes. Or you can start. Oh. We're back for set 3. Oak Ridge looking to close one out, up 2-0. Two pretty easy set victories for them, just winning by 6 and 7 respectively. And Matt Yehu closed out the second set, not quite able to pick up where he left off in this one.
Yeah, a little rough beginning right there for the Trojans on that serve, but I believe they'll bounce back.
Joseph Garrett. Ooh, Latour, what a shot.
And just like that, all it takes is just one hit and you're right back into the game.
So much velocity, Zach Winter almost fell down.
He nearly fell down.
Now Latour to serve. Hits the roof. But it gets over. Vandeluster with the kill.
Excellent response from the Trojans, defensively and offensively, after that first serve they had.
That first serve is a little out of their control. It was more Del Oro just being awarded a point there. It's a rocket of a serve from Latour. And Del Oro able to keep it alive. Phillip Jones with the just little tip right there. And the point. One just reaches over the top of the net. And Oak Ridge gets the point as this one went out and it was hit back out of bounds over the net. So Mason, as you know, college basketball heating up, NCAA tournament. So who do you have winning when we're down to 16 teams?
I have Alabama Crimson Tide. I mean, Brandon Miller has just evolved as a player this year. It really caught my eye at the tournament, and I just think they have really good depth, and I think they have what it takes to win it all.
I think we'll see maybe UConn, they've looked pretty good, or Alabama or Houston. But don't count out Princeton, 15 seed, making it all the way to the Sweet 16.
Yeah, they're like the little St. Peter's from last year when they had their Cinderella run.
Always fun to watch that Cinderella run, but for Princeton, it should be a Prince run, not Cinderella. Oak Ridge just on a 6-0 run so far. Latour's on a roll. And this serve just falls in, perfectly placed by Latour.
Yeah, that was an excellent punch on the serve and able to keep it in bounds.
7-0 run. Del Oro needs a timeout. We'll be back after this short break. Trojans back out of the timeout, or Del Oro back out of the timeout. Trying to cool down Oak Ridge on a 7-0 run. Latour. McCool gets blocked, but it's blocked out. Del Oro gets the points on that block by Phillip Jones.
Yeah, Trojans got to be mindful of that extra touch, otherwise that would have been Del Oro ball.
Looked like another just swing and miss almost from Vandeluster. You've seen that, just trying to hit it so hard you almost forget where it is.
Yeah, that's a common factor in volleyball.
Now Philip Jones with just too much power hits it out. It was just on the line, or not just on the line, but just out.
Chris, what do you think the Trojans need to do to try and just end this game in the third set?
Just keep doing what you've been doing, because all sets have pretty much been like this, where the Trojans have steadily been up around 3 to 4, and they've just pulled away. So, don't get too cute, just keep doing what you've been doing.
I like that. Don't get too cute. You gotta keep your foot on the gas. Don't take it off ever.
Just keep in the same rotations of players you have, all that. Vandeluster's serve returned by Pancoast. And there's Winter finding a hole and a point. Corbridge, what a hit. A lot of velocity on that one. Not quite able to be dug out by McCool.
Yeah, that was an excellent hit and just A for effort for McCool. Just couldn't quite get enough.
Zach Hansen serving, and they get the point off the call.
What a weird celebration that was.
You can see they're just having a lot of fun so far. Just this game's been going their way, and when it's going your way, you just feel good about things. Winter, too much.
Chris, what do you think the Eagles need to do to try and just mount a comeback to get back into this game?
For them to mount a comeback, you need to neutralize, I'd say, just what the Trojans have been doing, throwing it down right at the net. And all those big hits from Philip Jones, Travis Vandeluster, even Corbridge. Do more of that. Defend the net a lot more. Alex Kine now will serve.
Eagles look a little out of order right here.
Coach is calling for some new formations. I heard them deliberately calling get out in front of the net. Not that strategy with just defending the net in those big hits from those big guys up front.
You gotta have two guys at the front and maybe one behind you to help you, to support you.
Jones. Not as much velocity on that one. It's returned and defended well by Del Oro. Way too much on that one. McCool hitting it out. Now Philip Jones getting some serves.
Let's see if Jones has ice in his veins.
That was a good serve. Had Del Oro defenders had to make up a lot of ground to return that one, but they do, and they get the point out of it. And Oak Ridge has just been steadily ahead. No more than 3 points, or no less than 3 points. They've been ahead and in control of this game. Zator with the tip. Over and the point. Here's Swade. What a play there by Garrett. Just taking it, looking like he was going to set it to one of his teammates and just throwing it over the net a little bit.
Just a lack
Like
of
a hot potato.
just a lack of communication from the Trojans' defense.
What a hit by Phillip Jones. Finding the open spot in their defense. Throwing it down.
That was an excellent response from the Trojans' defense after the play prior.
Like we said when we spoke to Phillip Jones, you can clearly tell he's the leader of this team. A great person on and off the court. The Tor can't return that one. Little too much velocity, little too low. Del Oro getting a point there. Garrett defended well by Swade. It just hits the line. It just hit the back of the line, and the Trojans will get a point. 15-9.
Swade with excellent ball placement, including a lot of force behind that.
It may have been a little out, but it hit just the back of the line, and that counts as in.
That was a very risky ball placement.
I don't think any skill can put it at that exact pinpoint. Just get lucky with the call there and all that.
Yeah, the officials with the great eye to call that one.
Line judges, both Oak Ridge JV players, and may be concerned with the integrity of it as their Oak Ridge players and would obviously have biases, but these are the best of the best student athletes, so I don't think they'd really do that. And that one's out. Sam Renaud, just way too much power on that one.
I also kind of thought he just jumped into that one a little bit more than he expected.
Matthew McCool serving. Setting up Jones for the tip. Swade is back there to defend it as the backup guy. Garrett trying to set up Matthew McCool, and he does. Gets the point right in the back corner. No one in the same area code as that ball. Can't place it much better than that.
Trojans got to be mindful here. This little mini rally from the Eagles. They just cannot let their foot off the gas pedal right here. They got to keep it moving.
Eagles slowly climbing back in. They're within 4. Phillip Jones blocked. Hits the floor. Trying to keep it alive. They cannot. And an Oak Ridge point. Officials gave them 2 points for that hit. 17-12, not 18-12. Phillip Jones now get over. Matthew McCool just out. So they don't award the Trojans a point for that one to make up for that call. Just figured if you were going to give them 2 points, you might as well just not take one away. Rather wait for the next one. Vandelister, rocket of a serve right there. And Winter, right at the feet of Vandelister, gets the point. Pancoast to Jones, and Jones getting the point. And credit guys like Nicholas Nettleman, Gavin Swade, and Sam Renaud for their excellent sets to set up their big hitters like Philip Jones and Travis Vandeluster for those huge hits.
Yes.
Those huge hits, which the Trojans do so well.
Yeah, Swade has been a really big influence to this Trojans roster for the past couple of years with his veteran experience, with his communication, letting his teammates know where they need to be at all times.
And as the libero, that's your job with the sets and passing and all that. As you can see, Coach Larson just letting some of the sophomores or bench players get some more experience here. Has Trojans up forward right now, the chance to close out the set. So they're getting a little more lenient with their rotations. The Trojans within 5 of winning this one.
Gotta keep the foot on the gas, can't ease your foot off.
But at this point in the game, you're up so much that if it comes to a dire situation, you can bring them back in. You saw Swade go flying there, trying to retrieve that one.
That's the thing I know about Swade, he just won't quit.
Philip Jones getting the point. Good idea to keep a guy like him on the court right now for all these unexperienced players who don't maybe get as much playing time on varsity as these guys do. Great leader for them. And centerpiece. Now he'll serve, trying to close it out. Tipped. No one can quite get to that one. Closest man was Fryer. And it falls, giving Del Oro a point. Renaud tipped by a Del Oro player and falls out. So the Trojans get the point within 3 of winning. Swade will serve.
Excellent person the Trojans want to have to try and close this final stage out with only 3 points to go.
Up and too much on that one. Trojan point out of bounds. Hit by Del Oro.
See if Mr. Swade can keep the momentum going.
I've seen that a little bit from McCool, just hitting it with too much power out of bounds.
We've been seeing that through the entire game with the Eagles team.
For a lot of Del Oro players. Just a booming hit by Swade. They get the tip, and they get the point there. It was tipped, hit the roof, and there was really no chance of saving that one. Now Swade, one more point to close this one out. You saw the energy there.
Let's see if he has ice in his veins.
Vandeluster to win it, and he does.
That is the ball game, 25-17.
Trojans winning first set 25-18, second set 25-17, third set 25-17 again. So it's been pretty consistent for them as they get the 3-set victory sweep over the Del Oro Eagles. Great night for the Trojans and a good effort by the Eagles. I'm Chris Maffio, Mason Johnson, my color analyst, Charlie Limoncelli doing scoreboard, Logan Takeo on camera. Have a good night, everybody. Signing off.